Hey guys and fellow whiskey lovers, welcome back on the whiskey roads through Canada, and I am with
Isabelle. Actually, I'm from Cirka Distilleries right here in the heart of Montreal, Quebec, and we're gonna have a lovely tour.
Awesome. Let's have a look at the distillery.
Welcome. So we're actually going to start in the back. So you will walk through the whole distillery.
Cool.
All 7,000 square feet of it. So welcome to my playground. And that's the whole distillery. Bye. So welcome to Cirka. My name is Isabelle. I'm actually the head distiller here. And right now, you are in what I have pretty much nicknamed my control chaos theory.
Cool.
This is actually the warehouse. Although control chaos is now everywhere because we have a lovely 7,000 square feet and we use every inch of it. Meaning, we're professionals at two games. Can you guess which ones? First off, Tetris. If there's a space, I will use it. Second, Jenga. If I need to stack it,
oh yeah,
I will.
Cool.
So this is where we keep products that are already packaged and ready to go. We have empty bottles, we have empty boxes, we even have more barrels in the back. Like I said, Tetris. We are in our 11th year of production, so still considered babies in the distilling world, but here in Quebec, we're actually part of the old guard, part of the first 5 distilleries, micro distilleries that opened up.
Yeah.
But we are the first grain to bottle distillery. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means we actually work with local grain. We mash, we ferment, we distill, and it's all done right here. So actually right now, I'm going to start you off where the magic actually starts, and it's right this way.
Cool.
Right now you are at the beginning of the process. So essentially this is where we mash. Now of course mashing basically requires 3 things: grain, water, heat. Ta-da! You have mash. The reason why we cook the grain is we want to have access to that lovely starch, transform that into fermentable sugar. So how we do it here at Cirka is when we do a mash, it's single grain.
Okay, so I have a quick question because for everybody watching right now, you do different whiskey styles, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so there will be different grains going in the mash tun.
Absolutely. So
okay.
When we do a mash bill, our mash bill is just 100% one grain.
Okay.
So we either mash 100% corn, 100% rye, or 100% barley.
Cool.
So when we actually receive the grain, because we don't have milling facilities here, we actually receive it already milled. So we get it 12 tons at a time, and within 4 weeks, it's gone. So we're actually gonna shovel the grain here. Conveyor's gonna take it to the mash tun. Now the mash tun, basically it's a huge crock pot. That's where we're gonna cook the grain to transform that starch into fermentable sugar. That's the good part, because that's sweet. So once that's done, that's super hot. Yeast and heat don't mix well, so we need to cool it down. In the back end, we actually have a system. It's a heat exchange, so it's a tube and tube system. So you're gonna have the inner tube where the mash is gonna be circulating in it. The outer one's got municipal water that's gonna cool it down. So at the end, we finish with a tepid mash, but with very hot water that we actually recycle and reuse. So we store it in those big tanks that you see in the back. We're gonna refilter it for the afternoon mash, and thanks to a pump, I can push that throughout the distillery for cleaning. We're very conscious of the fact that we're lucky to be in Quebec. It's one of the provinces where we have very good water. really not expensive, but we need to be responsible about it. And even energy-wise, the reason why I'm using that hot water in the afternoon for the second part of the mash is I don't need as much energy to warm it up again. So I conserve energy as well. And we don't use products that are environmentally harmful, and for myself as well, for cleaning, for sanitizing as well. So we try as much as possible to be environmentally friendly and also conscious about what we have as far as waste disposal. Mm-hmm. What we do is we actually have partnerships with local businesses to give a second life to stuff that we can't use again. For example, our stillage, someone picks it up to do nachos. Some of the fruits that we use for macerating in our gins and liqueurs, we have chocolatiers, bakers, sausage manufacturers that will come and pick it up to do other stuff with it.
Cool.
Even our bottles, which we can't use again, we have a local glass blower. She needs raw material. So we will give her the bottles, and in exchange she gives us glassware, anything that we like. My little carousel. There you go. All right. And we also work with real ingredients. I like to say we don't fake it, we actually make it. So this is a fraction of some of the ingredients that we actually use in our gins and liqueurs as well. So we work with local foragers for some of these ingredients.
Oh, that smells really good.
And we can't source locally like 100%. I would love it, but
yeah,
some of these ingredients don't grow here.
Yeah.
Star anise, bergamot, passion fruit, but the importer that we use is local. So we try as much as possible to encourage local businesses. On to the second part. Now we're going to the fermenters. Step 2 of the magic is right here. Luckily for me, I don't need to shovel all that. I have a pump that's going to push through the pipes that we see on top, and then we're going to put in our fermenters. So essentially, it's 1 ton of grain, 1 fermenter. Our cycles, they're super fast compared to beers and wine. I mean, we're talking 3 days, the alcohol is done. Really, the critical part is the first 24 hours. It is a sugar party in there.
Yeah.
So the yeast is going to be very active, meaning it's going to create a lot of alcohol. That's what we want. But 2, it's also going to create a lot of heat. And as I mentioned, the back, heat and yeast, they don't mix well, so we need to cool it down. And I love these fermenters because they are a double jacket. So I also have city water that's going to be running around to help me keep it at a nice toasty temperature. And also, well, guess what? There's going to be also a lot of CO2 that's going to be purged through the process. We actually capture it in water to be safe. So the gas is going to come out here.
Okay.
Bucket is going to be filled with water. So the hose is going to go into that, and it's going to create bubbles. For me, that's an indicator. If I see bubble, I'm a happy girl. If I don't see bubbles, there's probably an issue, or the lid has been probably closed. Once this is done, obviously it's full of alcohol, so we need to extract it and we need to refine it.
So up until this point, for a single malt whiskey drinker, that would have been all quite understandable. Mm-hmm. Since you mentioned that you have different grains in there as well, will you use different yeasts, or is the process different in any way for the other grains?
The process itself is not different. It's identical up to the distillation process, depending if I'm doing base or whiskey. But, and you have an excellent point, we are using different types of yeast for different types of whiskeys. It's not all the same at all. So the way we went about it is actually in the initial year, we tried different yeasts with different grains. We went through the whole process, and at distillation, that's when we decided, yes, it's going to be this yeast for corn. Mm-hmm. this yeast for corn whiskey,
Okay.
this yeast for rye, and this yeast for the malt. So we did try different yeasts, actually the different yeast strains. So we actually work with Lallemand. Lallemand is a worldwide renowned distiller's yeast that are absolutely, they're amazing. They do yeast for beers, wines, and spirits. Super controlled. I've never had any issues with them, so that's the one that we use. And the reason why we use them is they're very consistent as well. So I know what I'm getting. I could get cheaper yeast anywhere else, obviously, but I would probably not get the same flavor profile that I want. And they're very, very tolerant as far as the temperature is concerned. I mean, they're usually in the 30 degrees, depending on which ones. So for me, I'm a happy girl as well for that.
Before we started filming, I told you I try to not be too nerdy, but actually I'm really excited right now because this is the first time I'm at a distillery that makes different types of whiskey within one setup.
Yes.
So will the fermentation be different, like for corn, for rye, and for malt?
Fermentation itself is the same.
Okay.
It's the same cycle that we use for all of them. And we have actually tested it out to make sure that everything is converted, meaning that all the sugar has been eaten and converted into alcohol. So we did test it out, and within 3 days, everything is done because they are a distiller's yeast. They don't take weeks or months. Within days, you have your alcohol. That's the beauty of it.
Okay, so you get different washes from the same fermentation process, but you use different yeasts. Got it.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so now, once this is all done, time to meet my boys.
Okie doke.
I have 2 men in my life. This is them.
So I'm trying to capture all of those. That's one.
I know. Big boys.
And number 2.
Yes.
Okay.
So the 2 men in my lives, yes, they are named, because in the distilling world, we are very superstitious people and we like tradition. One of them is we name our pot stills. Because we're gonna die before they do. So on my right, this is Mario. Mario is actually in honor of the first investor's father. So he's actually a wash still and a spirit still. So it does stripping, it does whiskey and vodka. So quite the busy boy. And I also have nicknamed him my temperamental teenager. Because waking up a teenager at 5 o'clock in the morning is not easy for work. Trust me. And this on my left, this is Homer. Homer takes care of everything that's botanical based. Gins, some of the liqueurs as well. So he's actually in honor of Paul Cirka's father. That's his nickname. Yes.
Cool.
I talked to them. I don't have a crazy jacket on yet, so I guess I'm still good. So we've had the alcohol is done, so we need to strip it. So the stripping run is actually also done here. So we're going to transfer all that beautiful polenta style fermented grain inside Mario. We're going to close the lid, we're going to fire it up. Not literally, because we actually use steam, so it's super safe and it's very, very efficient. So what's going to happen, of course, vapor is going to go up that cone through that big pipe. We don't use the columns, not right away. And we're going to recondense at the end in a plastic tote that's called low wines. So effectively an alcohol that's 40% alcohol, but it contains all the alcohols. The good, the bad, and the ugly. So our job as a distiller is to separate those just to keep the good part. So as you've noticed, Mario's setup has 2 columns. So the little one is the one that we use when we're making whiskey. And the tall one that I've kind of nicknamed my clarinet, that's the one that we use when we're making vodka.
I always tell people when they don't know how a column still looks like, I always tell them, imagine a clarinet.
Exactly.
Put some little round windows on it, and you basically have it.
It makes beautiful sound, beautiful music. The reason why they're so different is, well, of course, copper's got a beautiful property of cleaning, of purifying. That's its job. But whiskey, we don't need to purify it as much. we want those flavor molecules. They're going to break down the barrels for years.
Yeah.
And here in Canada, it's minimum of 3 years in a barrel to be able to be called a whiskey. Which doesn't mean that after 3 years you're going to go, oh, yum,
Yeah.
I want a bottle of this. And for us here at Cirka, it's even 4 years and up.
Yeah.
So that's the one that I'm using when I'm making my favorite juice, which is whiskey.
Okay.
Those are our babies.
Plenty.
So obviously, when Paul started the idea of this distillery 11 years ago, he wanted to bring back whiskey to Montreal. At one point, we were the capital of the whiskey making here in Canada. But the thing is, because of legislation, you need to have the whiskey in a barrel for a minimum of 3 years before you're called a whiskey here in Canada. So obviously, we started with a little something else first. So we started out with vodka, gins, and eventually added to the core range to finance the project and give us salaries as well. So here you have our regular vodka, our flavored one. You have our 3 gins, which is we have a Navy Strength, we have a flavored gin, and a Boreal Forest inspired dry gin. And we have a nice little chili vodka as well, and 2 liqueurs, which is pomelo and passion fruit.
Nice.
Now on the whiskey side, right now we have 3 that are available at the moment. We did release 2 8-year-old single malts
Wow.
last autumn, which was quite the good moment for me,
Yeah.
because I have to admit, I have my favorite child, but releasing the first age statement single malt here in Quebec was quite the honor.
Yeah.
And we recently even got a silver medal at the International Wine and Spirits Show
Cool.
competition in London
Yes.
for our Burgundy Lion cast strength single malt. So that was quite the achievement. But what we're going to be tasting today is actually you could say our core range for the whiskeys. So we number our recipes, and also it's part of the order in which they originally came out. So you have number 2 here, which is our 100% corn whiskey, but triple cask.
I'm really curious about that. I haven't really tried that many corn whiskeys in my life. So
I know, you're going to be agreeably surprised. Number 3 is our 100% rye whiskey as well. There's not that many out there. And number 4 is actually a blend. So it is 95% corn whiskey blended with 5% of our rye whiskey, with a nice little twist as well. So I will explain those
Cool.
when we start the tasting.
Awesome.
Ready for tasting?
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm certainly ready. Right. That concludes our tour through Cirka Distillery. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Very good. And now I'm going to try some whiskeys, and you can see that on a different video if you like. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you ever get the chance to come to Montreal, visit the distillery. I haven't drank anything yet. Visit the distillery, try some Cirka whiskey, and watch some of the videos.
Always welcome.
See you guys down the road.